Welcome to Azor, the Banehammer. Hope you're excited. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, looks good. I think we're going to keep on this one. In fact, we will. There we go. We have Mother of Runes in the hand. We have Tundra, Reliquary Tower. That way, hopefully, if we get a lot of really good card draw going, it's not going to matter with that Reliquary Tower. Let's go and get down the Mother of Runes. It's going to be 1 white mana and then anything else. No, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. Playing against Admiral Beckett. Excited to get those pirates going. But let's start off with Azor, the Lawbringer. In fact, if you're injured by a big rig, call Azor. He's got your back. He's the strong arm, the strong-winged lawyer. Anyways, flying. Whenever Azor enters the battlefield, each opponent can't cast sorcery or instant spells during that player's next turn. Whenever Azor attacks, you may pay Sphinx Revelation. If you do, draw X cards and then gain X life. So we have Mother Runes on the battlefield. Let's go ahead and get down the Reliquary Tower. Yeah, that sounds good because it's the only thing that we have. And then I think with Stoneforge Mystic, we might not have a searchable equipment. Sword of Feast and Famine and Swiftfoot Boots out there. We'll still go and get it down. We can eventually go put it onto the battlefield. Stoneforge Mystic activation will be nice. But yeah, we're going to use that. But I'm pretty sure we don't have any more equipment in there. Yep, that's right. I was right. All right. Do we want to? No, we're going to leave up Mother Runes for some protection. And then we're simply just going to go ahead and pass the turn. All right, we're playing against Admiral Beckett Brass, the official pirate. Other pirates you control get +1/+1. Then, at the beginning of your end step, gain control of target non-land permanent controlled by a player who's dealt combat damage by 3 or more pirates this turn. Opponent's going to get down the Stormfleet area list. Whenever it enters the battlefield, get with a +1 counter if you attack with the creature's turn. Okay, there we go. Okay, and they're going to kick it back over there. Let's see, hopefully we hit the lane drop for the turn. I would love to make sure we can get down Gilded Lotus. That'll give us enough. Ooh, Ancient Tomb. Wonderful. Little light on colored mana, but it's going to work for us. We go for the Stoneforge activation, and then with 2, and then use the Ancient Tomb to put down Sword of Feast and Famine, get that untap. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's go for the Stoneforge Mystic. That's going to be a white, and then Reliquary Tower. Let's go and put the Sword of Feast and Famine on there, and let's go and go beat sticks with the Sword of Feast and Famine. I like it. Let's go, Mother of Runes. You got this. We believe in you. All right, there we go. We're going to equip that on there. Gain protection from black and green, which is going to be the important thing. We are playing against a black deck and Grixis, and then it'll hopefully kind of stop some of that spot removal. All right, let's go and swing in for 3. We're going to be able to untap our lands, get down the Swiftfoot Boots, and then get that onto Mother of Runes, and we'll actually be in a really good spot to make sure it stays protected. All right, there we go. We're going to deal that damage. They will have to discard a card. Let's see what they're going to discard into the graveyard. Discard an island. Now let's go ahead and get down these Swiftfoot Boots. It's going to be 1, 2. Yeah, I don't mind taking a little damage off this Ancient Tomb. Get down the Swiftfoot Boots, and we'll equip the Reliquary Tower. That way we can at least represent some sort of counter magic or something like that. Let's go for the Reliquary Tower, Swiftfoot Boots, and then anything else. We're going to go past this turn. All right, so now we do have an official beat stick. We have Mother of Runes. Somebody made her mad. I don't know. I just always really enjoy, you have cards like Mother of Runes, which are just strictly in there just to be like, to protect Azor with an activation, no mana cost or whatever. But there comes a time where Mother of Runes has got to sleeve up her robe sleeves and start going beat sticks with the Sword of Feast and Famine and some Swiftfoot Boots, so definitely thankful for that. All right, Opponent's going to get down the Adaptive Automaton, the Naming Pirate, which is always lovely. Love it. All right, we got the Stormfleet swinging in for 2. That will put us down to 24. Now, that will count as 2 pirates. Let me see. Yeah, it will count as a pirate. So they are sitting at 2 pirates right now as far as Admiral Beckett is concerned. Drawn to Irrigated Farmland. Let's go and get down the Irrigated Farmland. And the good thing about that is we're going to get the untap step on Mother of Runes. Well, let me see. It's not going to have protection from that Adaptive Automaton. Let's see if they're going to chump block. If they chump block, that's fine. But if we get the untap step, that'll put us in the Gilded Lotus range. And then we get down to Azor, the Lawbringer, kind of start going from there. All right, let's go and push in. Let's hold back Stoneforge Mystic. Got Mother of Runes swinging in. And then we'll get that discard step and that untap step on the Irrigated Farmland. Now, if we had something instant speed, we could add that mana to our mana pool and then tap and untap, but we don't really have a whole lot going on in the hand. And our opponent does get rid of the Bloodfast. Let's go and go for that Gilded Lotus. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. And that'll finally put us in a spot to where we can get down Azor, the Lawbringer. And if our opponent does have some sort of, if they do make their land drop for the turn, we can go for the Admiral Beckett counterspell on that one, and then continue to go Mother of Runes beat sticks. Now, as far as Azor goes, I originally did not have Sword of Feast and Famine in here. That works absolutely wonderful with Azor, the Lawbringer. You can tap out for a bunch of mana, and then once they deal that combat damage, have them discard a card, and then still be open as far as whatever you draw with Azor, the Lawbringer. So that was kind of one of those cards that, when you're going to build a commander deck, sometimes you just, you forget about little cards, and like once I was done with my third, I think like my 3rd video, I was like, oh, Dang it. Sword of Feast and Famine would be perfect in here, but I can't go back and add it now. And I think I even mentioned it during the deck tech, but unfortunately I didn't have it in there. So we've got that in there now. It kind of helps you, when you got clunky hands like we had where we didn't really have a lot of mana, you can see how high impactful Sword of Feast and Famine can be on a board state like this, simply just swinging in with Mother of Runes on that. All right, drawn to Mystic Confluence. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're looking at Azor, the Lawbringer, swinging in, and that'll still leave us that. Let's go ahead and go for that. That's going to be triple blue off that. Let's go for Azor. It's going to be double white. 1, 2, 3, and what we can do, 100%, is shift over the Swiftfoot boots. All right, they're not going to be able to cast an instant or sorcery spell. Let's go and shift the boots over onto Azor. We're going to pay for 1 on this one. Okay, we're going to be able to swing in with Azor and swing in with Mother of Runes on 2 on this one. All right, there we go. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to pay for the Sphinx Revelation off of Azor, but at least we're kind of getting in that extra combat damage. Just hold back Stoneforge Mystic. All right, there we go. Not going to be able to pay for that one, nope. But that will leave us online for Mystic Confluence on the back end. So we'll see if that Adaptive Automaton blocks. Nope, no block. They'll have to discard a card, and we get to untap our lands, putting us online for Mystic Confluence. All right, Captivating Crew. And then anything else, and I think we're going to go and pass the turn. Now, if somehow they get down extra mana to get down Admiral Beckett, thankfully we still have Mystic Confluence to kind of go for on that one. But yeah, as far as Azor goes, I'm really happy with Azor. I did add the Austere Command in here. That was one of the more common cards that were suggested to me, and I do have it in here because, yeah, it's just a great blue, white board. I mean, a great white board wipe for that. And then also with Brawl. Kind of changing pages on you, but I'm really excited about Brawl, and I know I talked about it in my other video. I'm not entirely sure which one I'm posting up, or I'm going to post both up, but at least kind of want to cover both bases on it. With Brawl, yeah, I'm really excited for Brawl. I'm building a lot of decks, and in fact, if you have any Brawl decks that you've built, any certain commanders or planeswalkers that you've built, definitely kind of post in the comments with any deck list. I'm really excited about this format. All right, opponent's sitting at 12. That's swinging across for 6. That's going to be 9, 10. Doing a Mystic Confluence to draw 3 cards. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and cast it. We're going to return target creature to its owner's hand and then draw 2 cards. Let's go and bounce the Adaptive Automaton, and then we're going to draw those 2 cards. We're looking at blue, blue, then Reliquary Tower. So hopefully we might be able to find some sort of way to help us close it out this turn, but at least it's going to put us swinging in with Adaptive Automaton. Okay, opponent's going to be tapping out. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And like I said, it's not the end of the world. We can still Sphinx Revelation and have that mana up off Mother of Runes once we get that Sword of Feast and Famine trigger. Okay, opponent's not going to end up tapping out on that one, so we bounce that back and we do draw into Oblivion Ring. Okay, Dragonlord Ojutai. Let's go to get the planes down. Do we want to... So we can go for lethal at this point right now. We do have 9, 10 coming across. If we get down Dragonlord Ojutai and put the Swiftfoot Boots over onto it, yeah, I kind of like going for that. Let's go for it. That's going to be triple blue. All right, opponent's going to scoop it up. So we do draw into Dragonlord Ojutai. What we're going to be able to do is get down Dragonlord Ojutai, put the Swiftfoot Boots over onto Dragonlord Ojutai, and then swing in for, that's going to be 11, and then 14 swinging across with Mother of Runes. So that's going to be more than enough to help us kind of close it out one. But a little bit of a, you can see where blue-white control, especially against a low-to-the-ground creature-style deck, is definitely going to kind of... had the upper hand, but with some good videos, kind of getting to see some of those pirates out there. And in fact, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Azor, the Banehammer. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, a little clunky on this one. Let's go and mulligan. Not super wild about that one. We've got an island into Blighted, into Thought Vessel, which will be online very slowly for Gilded Lotus. Is this what we're going to keep? We're going to have the Scry. Looks like our opponent's going to be on the play. Yeah, let's go and keep on this one. Not super wild, but we don't really want to go past that. Impulse, yes, that is wonderful. We're going to put that on top, and then we're going to let our opponent do their thing. We're playing Azor, the Lawbringer, bringer of all law. In fact, if you're injured by a big rig or any sort of thing like that, call Azor, the Banehammer. He'll be sure to get every ounce of money that you deserve. Flying, whenever Azor enters the battlefield, each opponent can't cast instant or sorcery spells during that player's next turn. And then whenever Azor attacks, you may pay Sphinx Revelation. If you do, gain X life and draw X cards. Let's go ahead and get the island down. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. We're playing it's Atraxa, Praetor's Voice. Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, and Lifelink. Then at the beginning of your in-step Proliferate. And our opponent did get down a Birds of Paradise. Let's see what they're going to go for on their turn 2 play. That's going to be a Dark Confidence. So we're going to get the card draw going. Or at least our opponent's going to get the card draw going. Let's go ahead and get down the Blighted Cataract, I think. I think that sounds good. Do we want to go for an Impulse right now? They've only got 1 mana up. Yeah, if we need this Impulse to stick, I like going for it now. They might have some sort of counter spell. And then what do we want to put in our hand? That's going to be Hollowed Fountain. We can get that down. Have that come into play. It'll also put us online for Oblivion Ring on that Dark Confidant. I think I like that. Let's go and grab the Hollowed Fountain and put those on the bottom in any order. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. So, next turn, we are looking at Hollowed Fountain, getting that down. Probably going to go for that O-Ring off that Dark Confidant. Definitely don't want to keep our opponent away from getting a lot of that card draw. Let's go and get that popped out. Just so they do reveal a Cornucopia off of that Dark Confidant trigger. All right, opponent's going to get down the Tectonic Edge. But yeah, as far as Azor the Lawbringer, I made a couple changes to the deck. One of the big cards that I did not have in here was Austere Command. And we do have Austere Command in here now. And also, for some reason, I never had Sword of Feast and Famine in here, which works out wonderful with Azor. Opponent's going to get down Jace the Mind Sculptor. Okay, so we're going to see what we're going to need to go for. As much as I want to keep Dark Confidant off the battlefield, Oblivion Ring on Jace the Mind Sculptors might be a little bit better of an option because they're going to get that card draw going, but having them be able to brainstorm every single turn may not exactly what we want to go for. In fact, we draw into Windswept Heath. Let's go and get the Windswept Heath down. Let's go and crack that. Let's go and grab the Tundra. Yeah, there we go. Grab the Tundra. Let's go and go for that O-Ring ability. It's going to be colorless, white, and then blue. Don't really have a tap for blue, but it'll make Jace a little bit happier as he gets exiled. Let's go to get rid of Jace. There we go. Adios, muchachos. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. So, next turn, we'll be able to get the Hollowed Fountain down. We can go for the Thought Vessel and then follow it up with Swiftfoot Boots. And then hopefully get down the Gilded Lotus. We will be at 5 mana the following turn. And then Astral Cornucopia. All right, that was back on top with that Jace ability. So, we're going to cross that one off right there. But yeah, I added Austere Command in here, another board wipe to the deck. And Sword of Feast and Famine, Stoneforge package. We're not running really that many more enchantments, but artifacts in the deck, equipment, other than Sword of Feast and Famine because it works so well with Azor. Especially if we're going to tap out for a really big Sphinx Revelation. Once it deals that combat damage, we can get it to unflip. And then we'll have our... go back to being normal blue-white control, leaving all your mana up like that. All right, we got Dark Confidant swinging in for 2. It's going to put us down to 25. And then kick it back over to us. Now, they do have Birds of Paradise and the Cornucopia down, so they can represent some sort of counter magic, but I really like going for this one. So we go Thought Vessel into Swiftfoot Boots. Let's do this. Let's go Thought Vessel. Go for the Thought Vessel. It's going to be 1-2. We can get down the Boots, and then we can put the Celestial Colonnade into play tapped. That way we can have an untap, become a blocker, anything else. I think we're going to go and pass the turn. That will put us online for Gilded Lotus and then Hollowed Fountain next turn, which is going to allow us to go for Fact or Fiction to hopefully kind of refuel our hand, and then we can get down Azor, kind of start going from there. Now, we will be able to stop Atraxa from swinging in, but it's going to have that Death Touch. I'm not entirely sure if we want to go for Azor. It'd be great if we could dig into some sort of spot removal, whether it's Path to Exile or Swords to Plowshares. But, oh yeah, as far as the deck goes, yeah, I added Sword of Feast and Famine, and I think that's about it as far as changes to the deck. And I've been really happy with Azor. It's a lot of fun. It's a little bit clunky going double white, double blue with a big 6-drop commander. But one of my favorite things in Magic is drawing cards, and Azor definitely makes sure that we're going to have some fun doing that. And plus, oh yeah, as far as the intro, if you're injured by Big Rig, so there's... I've been meaning to tell the story, but I always forget to tell it. There is, and looks like we're going to see Atraxa coming down because it is an Angel Horror, if they tap correctly. But so there's in my area... Sorry, I was trying to put my cat in my lap, and cat said no, even though she wanted to be in my lap. All right, opponent's going to go for Thoughtseize. We'll see if they're going to take the Gilded Lotus or Fact or Fiction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Either way, we're online for Azor the Lawbringer next turn, so we'll see what they take. Gilded Lotus, that's fine. Fair enough. But yeah, as far as that lawyer goes, so he has a bunch of ads where it's just like, injured by Big Rig, call the Strong Arm. And the funny thing about him, he's called Jim Adler, the Strong Arm. And if you're from the Dallas area, you've heard his commercials before more than once. The funny thing is, I remember his commercials from childhood. And Poe's going to get that Atraxa proliferate ability off that Cornucopia, so that's fine. Definitely, if we could rip into Austere Command, that would be good. We can take care of Atraxa and kind of get rid of some of those at least the Cornucopia out there. We draw into our own Sphinx Revelation. Okay, so if we end up tapping out for that, let's go and get the Hollowed Fountain down. Let's go and shock that in. It's going to be 2 life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to have 6 mana, so Sphinx Revelation for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're not going to have an extra mana to get these Swiftfoot Boots onto Azor the Lawbringer, and they do have 6 mana up at this point right now. Do we still want to go ahead and try and get that down? Yeah, let's go ahead and give it a shot. Let's just see if they've got some spot removal. If they have it, they have it. We're going to go double white and then double blue. Get down Azor the Lawbringer. And then they can't cast instant or sorceries. At least to give us some opportunity next turn to, keep Azor onto the battlefield. If they want to swing in with the Atraxa, at this point, we'll probably end up taking it. And it's going to get that... get the reveal zone popped up, Cavernous Souls and the Cornucopia. But yeah, as far as Jim Adler goes, so I remember his commercials from the childhood. He'd always yell. He's like the tough arm, and he's just, if you've ever seen Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, he's a lot like that, but not like a sleazy lawyer. He's just he's just one of those lawyers that trying to think how to describe it. Like, he's just been around forever. And I remember, at one point I was just like, all right, eventually one day, this guy's old when I was younger. Eventually he's going to stop these yelling commercials because he's so loud in his commercials. He yells really, really loud. And it's really kind of off-putting. And I remember thinking one day, I was like, all right, he is older. One day he's going to retire. I don't have to listen to these Jim Adler commercials anymore. I'll kind of be thankful for that. And then like 6 months ago or a year ago, actually, let's get the turn going. All right, we draw into Cryptic Command. Let's go and get the Swiftfoot Boots onto Azor. If they have some spot removal, we've got Cryptic backup. So let's go and go for Thought Vessel, getting that one on there. And see if that's going to stick. If they do have some sort of removal spell, like I said, we've got Cryptic Command. We can bounce something back to the hand. Probably end up bouncing Atraxa, counterspell, bounce. Okay, let's go ahead and go for that. Let's go for the counter target spell, return target permanent to its owner's hand. So we're going to counter the Anguish Unmaking, and then bounce Atraxa back to the hand. Yeah, I like that. All right, it's going to be triple blue. And that was a beautiful top deck for our deck. Thank you, Azor. Definitely getting that stuff going for us. So we're going to do Cryptic Command, counter target spell, and then return target permanent to its owner's hand. Okay, so we're going to bounce that back to the hand, and then we're going to get the Swiftfoot Boots. Let's see if this is going to stick, if they've even their sort of spot removal. They do have one white mana up, so we could be looking at Swords to Plowshare or Path to Exile, but we'll see if that'll go through. Okay, there we go. Get the Boots on Azor. And I guess at this point, yeah, I think I like going to swing in. We only have one mana up, but that's going to be okay. Opponent's going to go for the Celestial Colonnade off Tectonic Edge. Yeah, that's fine. We'll lose the old Colonnade. Let's go and swing in for 6. And then we don't have... Sorry, Azor, we don't have Sphinx Revelation mana. Sorry about that, buddy. All right, swinging in for 6. That's going to put our opponent down to 25, and that will be 6 total commander damage. All right, anything else? No, we're going to go and pass the turn. Yeah, so anyway, I got to this point to where I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, eventually there's going to get rid of the Strong Arm commercial. Ooh, Supreme Verdict, okay. I actually think that might end up hurting our opponent more than anything, unless they can get the Jace flip. So we'll see if they end up going for that Supreme Verdict. But yeah, so his commercial came on, and then his son was in the commercial. And he was doing the exact same thing where he was just yelling. And I was just like, great. So now I've got another 30 years of his son yelling into the commercial. So yeah, if you want to look it up, look up Jim Adler. He has a lot of commercials where he'll like stand on an 18-wheeler in the middle of the freeway and call the Strong Arm, and I don't know. It just made me think of Azor, just injured by a big rig. And then but yeah, there's a little Dallas information for you. Okay, an opponent will go for Atraxa again. All right, getting Atraxa down cannot be countered using the Cavernous Souls, and that's going to leave them 1, 2, 3, 4. They're still going to have 5 mana up, so we'll see if they're going to roll out for the turn. But as far as going for Supreme Verdict, they're going to need access to double white. Excuse me, they do have the Cornucopia out there. So then go for that. All right, opponent's going to go for Eternal Wind. Let's see what they're going to bring back. Might end up being that Anguish Unmaking, but we'll see what they're going to go for. Anguish Unmaking, okay. And then up to 1 target creature gets -2, -0 off of the Jace activation. All right. As far as next turn goes, probably going to end up going for that Fact or Fiction, especially if we do not hit the land drop. Definitely want to do that. And we got Dark Confidant Beat Sticks going. I'm loving it. All right. We're down to 15. Our opponent is sitting at 21. They're going to get the Proliferate off of Jace and the Cornucopia. Now, we do need to deal with Jace. That -9, whenever you cast a spell, put the top 5 cards of the library in your graveyard. It's not too bad in Commander, but it's definitely something that, ooh. Swords to Plowshares. Let's see. Do we want to jam a Fact or Fiction to see if we can't draw any sort of counter magic? We're looking at just 1. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, I like going for that. And that still puts us on Fact or Fiction. We can do that during our opponent's upkeep. Let's say they do have some sort of counter magic they want to go for. We could jam that Fact or Fiction to kind of eat up some mana. Or if they tap out, we can cast it in response to that. Or it's simply at the end of the turn if we want to make our land drop. But beautiful rip off the... oh, opponent's going to go for Misdirection. Okay, let's go for fact or fiction. Very slim pickings that we might somehow end up in a force of will situation, but you never know. All right, go for the fact or fiction, and even if we do, I'm sure our opponent would put it in a different pile. All right, so it's going to be disallow, Dawson, negate. They got the waste and search for Azkenteka. Let's see how our opponent wants to split this one up. Okay, so they go disallow and search in one pile, and then negate and Dawson in the other pile. At this point, we're going to choose pile 1. I want to make the land drop, and having disallow and search is going to be a great thing for us. So let's go and choose pile 1. Pile 1 goes into the hand. Opponent's going to go for misdirection, change the target of spell with a single target. So it's either going to target these Swords to Plowshare too. Basically, you have to put it onto one of their creatures, so more than likely we'll see it on the... Swords to Plowshare on Azor. There we go. All right, they're going to take care of Azor. It's going to get the waste down, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. Yeah, I guess I get mixed up on that interaction as far as hexproof goes. So, all right, opponent's going to go for the Dark Confidant trigger. That's going to be a Windswept Heath reveal off of that one with 6 cards in the hand. Now, as far as combat damage goes, we're looking at 6 coming across 8. That will put us down, a little bit lower than we'd like to be. So at this point right now, it'd be great if we could rip into some sort of board wipe. Unfortunately, with Azor being sent back to the command zone, we're looking at 8 mana, and we're just not really in a position for 8 mana at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So kind of we're looking at getting in this weird spot of holding up disallow. Actually, what did they go for off of the Thoughtseize? Okay, opponent's going to go for Thoughtseize. Yeah, that's fine. And then we'll see what they take out of the hand. All right, and our opponent did take the disallow off of that. Either way, like I said, next turn we're looking at just not that great of a Sphinx Revelation or Search for Azkenteka. At least with that one that we can, Azkentha. I keep adding extra words in there for some reason. All right, there we go. 8 comes in, it's going to put us down to 13. And that will be another 4 commander damage, putting us at 8 total. But yeah, we can go for Search next turn or Sphinx Rev. Let's see what we draw into, though. Definitely, if we're still drawing hot like we have been the entire game, Cryptic Command and Source of Plowshare, maybe, just maybe, we might draw into a board wipe or something like that. Supreme Verdict would be absolutely delightful because it'll be able to get around some of the counter spells that our opponent's running. And they did get down the Windswept Heath, so let's go and get rid of that one. And they still have Supreme Verdict in the hand. All right, we draw into Fumigate. Okay, let's go for Fumigate. Why not, man? All right, we're going to go white. All right, look at these top decks. Loving it. And then, yeah, we can't go for... I guess technically we could. Search your library for... No, this is the beginning of your upkeep, so we're just going to go and tap out for the Fumigate. See if this is good. Keep our fingers crossed. If they got a counterspell, they've got it. They've got a lot of mana between the Cornucopia and the Tropical Islands, but... all right, that's going to be 5 total mana off the Cornucopia. But at least I'm going to have to post this up because of the hot draws that we definitely ran into. And plus the Jim Adler story, that was always really nice. All right, so our opponent's going to be tapping up for 5 total mana. Let's see what they're going to show for it. Mystic Confluence. Okay, counter target spell unless they pay 3, and return target creature to its owner's hand, draw a card. All right, so that's going to take care of it. I'm not going to be able to pay for that. No, all we have are the waste up. Anything else? No, we're going to go and pass the turn. Now, this slowed their clock down just a little bit, kind of puts it on a turn 3 clock. We are looking at 6 coming across, so at least we're going to see at least about 2 or 3 more draws. And with that Sphinx Revelation, we can get in a spot where we can gain a little bit of life and maybe kind of turn it into about a 3 or 4 turn clock. But I'll definitely take the top decks that we're getting. We needed Cryptic Command backup for Azor. We needed counter backup for Azor. We needed some removal for Atraxa to kind of keep Jace in check. And then we needed a board wipe and drawn to Fumigate. So I'll definitely take that. Oh, and Brawl. So Magic released a new format called Brawl. I meant to talk about this during the video. But basically, it's like standard Commander with 60 card deck. And... man, I'm pumped about this. I'm really excited about Brawl. In fact, I've been working on probably about 4 or 5 decks this week in building the deck list. Now, there's not really any way for me to play it online to show you gameplay, unfortunately. An opponent, it will bring back the Mystic Confluence off that Eternal Witness. But I'm working on some deck techs right now, and I'm excited. Somebody like me, where I have almost 40 to 50 commander decks, but they're all online. I don't really have any paper commander decks because it's hard to maintain a digital and a paper collection. Like I would love to have the Church of Athreos in paper, but if I were to build it, it'd be pretty expensive. At the amount of money that I would spend on it, I don't know if that I would ever get enough use out of it to justify that purchase. Okay, draw into Mind Stone. All right, swinging the next turn, that's going to be 6, 8. That's going to put us down. Sphinx Rev for simply just 3 is going to buy us a little bit more time. They did bring back that Mystic Confluence back to the hand, and they have more than enough mana with an Astral Cornucopia. Let's just go and pass the turn. Maybe they tap out for something, and we can Sphinx Rev in response to that. They do know that it's in the hand, so it's not as it's not as enticing to go for it now that they know about it, but maybe they do end up tapping out in a weird way or something. In fact, let's go and jam it now. Yeah, because either way, they're going to have lethal swinging across next turn. So let's go and go for it. So we're going to go for white, blue, blue, and then 1, 2, and then 3. There we go. Sphinx Rev for 3. That'll at least buy us a turn if it sticks, but oh, there we go. All right, Frantic Search, okay. And they're going to put the counter on the Dreadship, Dreadship Reef. All right. Anything else, we'll pass it back over there. But yeah, as far as Brawl goes, I'm really excited about it because you know, I don't really have a lot of paper Commander, and it's a great way for me to go to my local gaming store, and like some of the decks that I built, and you know, it's like a $30 Singleton Standard deck, and that sounds like a lot of fun to play to me. That's one of the big reasons why I really enjoy Commander. It is a Singleton format, and for them to have kind of like a casual Abrupt Decay on Oblivion Ring, okay, it's going to get Jace back, but to have a, there we go. But to have a format to where, you know, I can build like a deck and just go play it that night and have some fun. Not like, because I've wanted to get into Standard. I just simply don't have the time to learn the formats and learn the decks and stuff like that. And so to have a format to where it's a Singleton format in Standard, you know, it kind of leads to some creative deck building. Like I've got and the cool thing about Brawl is, if you didn't see it, is that they allow Planeswalkers to be your commanders. Now, within the Standard format, that's not too bad. But as far as Commander goes, I'm not entirely sure how Planeswalkers being your commander and actual commander, how fun that would be. You know, eventually that's going to be something that we're going to have to cross because if Brawl does pick up in popularity, that's going to be something to where these Brawl players are going to say, well, why can't I use my commander, my Planeswalker commander in this deck? And so, but yeah, it's kind of fun building a Planeswalker focused style deck. You know, I built Angrath, where it's just kind of basically kind of like 8-rack. In modern black-red 8-rack, and so we're just really kind of pushing this hand disruption, a lot of removal and burn spells, using stuff like Torment of Hellfire to kind of close it out. But it just kind of ends up putting you, trying to think how to describe it. All right, so Misty and then that. Let's go ahead and get down the Misty Rainforest. At this point, yeah, let's go ahead and crack. Let's go and crack on the Misty. It's going to put us down to 1. And then do we want to grab the irrigated farmland? Two more. We only have 1 basic. We'll simply just grab the island off this one. Let's go ahead and go for the Frantic Search. We're going to be colorless and then double blue. We're going to draw a few more cards. If we want to, we can Supreme Will, whatever they're going to do. Discard 2 cards. We're going to go and get rid of the City of Brass and the Command Beacon. Either way, they're going to be swinging in for 1. Yeah, I think they're going to get it on this one. We could go for Supreme Will, but I just simply don't know if we're going to have enough mana off of that. Yeah, let's go and get rid of the City of Brass, and we'll go and get rid of the Command Beacon. Untap 3 lands, 1, 2, 3. There we go, make sure we click on those. Get those untapped. Let's go for Supreme Will. We're going to pay 1, 2, 3. At this point right now, we're looking at Supreme Verdict. That's going to be about our only way out of this one, and that's going to be not Supreme Verdict. So we'll just simply put the Serum Visions in our hand, put those on the bottom in any order. Let's go for 1 more shot. But either way, I think we're kind of drawing dead on this one. I draw a card and scry 2. Oh, Supreme Verdict. Where were you earlier, buddy? Let's go and put that on the bottom and Supreme Verdict on top as we sit at simply 1. We're going to go and pass turn to our opponent, let them swing in for lethal. But yeah, with Brawl, you know, it's an exciting format, and I can't wait to start making, you know, eventually if it does become to where you can play it online, I'm definitely going to be start to record for it. And I feel like it's a great way for players like me. I feel like the format is great for newer players who want to get into Commander, because Commander's never really had that stepping stone. You know, you look at Modern, and Standard is the stepping stone into Modern. And then you look at Commander, a good game to our opponent. And then you look at Commander, and it's never really had that stepping stone. So this Brawl format would definitely be a good way to be a stepping stone into Commander, because when you build a standard Brawl deck, you know, eventually it's going to rotate, and so you have a home for that deck. You know, you just throw 40 more cards in there, and then you're good to go. So, long story short, be on the lookout for some more Brawl content on my channel, and I'll be putting that out soon. And unfortunately, Atraxa and Dark Confidant's going to get it done on this one. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.